A very good evening, everyone, and we welcome you all once again to the GMT Athletic Stadium in Bambolim. This is the penultimate day of the group stage fixtures as Gokulam Kerala lock horns with Mohammedan Sporting Club. Goes without saying, both the teams have been eliminated, and this is more like a clash where you can hope to salvage some pride. But that being said, we'll take a quick look at the points table, which will clarify that where do they actually stand and what's the scenario. Well, Punjab FC and Bengaluru FC will be playing the winner takes all encounter in the evening, which will be coming to you live on Geo Hotstar. But for now, it's Mohammedan Sporting Club and Gokulam Kerala. Both the teams have failed to score even for a solitary time in the last 180 minutes. And that is what they venture into. Of course, Gokulam Kerala, they have conceded a couple of more goals, and if this ends up in a draw, Mohammedan Sporting Club will finish in the third position, courtesy of a superlative goal difference. But with that being said, Gokulam Kerala, they've got a very good side. They've got a couple of foreigners as well, which kind of makes it another stern challenge for an all-Indian Mohammedan Sporting Club. But that being said, both the sides will be hoping that they put up a show to remember. Mohammedan Sporting Club only coming in with just 4 days of practice under another Indian stalwart, Menajuddin Wadu. And at the other end, Gokulam Kerala playing under Jose Hevia will be hoping that they get to show some magic, of course. And that's the Malabarians making their way to the center. Obviously, this is a big occasion for them, and they know that they'll have to conclude this on a note of high. Their youth team that participated in the IFF Shield couldn't really do much either. Went down fighting against Mohammedan Super Giants 5-1 and then against United Sports 1-0. But this is a different side. This side has got the foreign power. This side has got some serious firepower which can wreck the black and white brigade. But with that being said, again, we have seen this over and over again in the ongoing edition of the AIFF Super Cup, that predestined foreign power, predestined names, and just big reputation won't do you honors. You have to play it out, you'll have to duke it out in the center. The likes of Dempo Sports Club has already proven that. And this man on your frame will be very, very crucial. Just a few moments ago, we saw Alfred Plnas Moya. He's going to be instrumental in the plans of the Malabarians. And at the other end, Mohammedan Sporting Club. Well, we'll get back to that. To start, quick look at the starting 11 of the Malabarians. Shibin Raj, their skipper, under the sticks, and then as a centre back pair, they've got Gursimrat and Harpreet. As the two wing backs, they've got Johnson and Soyal. In the four-man midfield, Alfred, Shijil, Rahul, and Samuel. And up top, they've got Albert, and Akshay Natyagi. And under Jose Carlos, they've also got a pretty solid bench. They've got Rashid Dagar, Nishin, Rishad, Rico Azorin, Mashu Sharif, Bishorjeet, Tokchom, Emil Benny, Moses, and Trijoy. Well, obviously, the likes of Rashid Dagar, Nidhin, and Rashad, these are big names in Indian football. Rashad has been there with the Malabarians for a while now, and he's done phenomenally well. And this man, he will be hoping that his team leaves this tournament on a high. They've shown a lot of heart, to be honest. But then again, when you lack out some serious firepower, when you lack up some exposure and experience, a lot of things come into the question mark. Menajuddin Wadu leading Mohammedan Sporting Club to war. To war against a team that's done phenomenally well in Indian football in recent times, particularly the 2023-24 I-League season. Gokulam Kerala were absolutely phenomenal. Obviously, they had players who are now not a part of this team. And a quick look at the warm-up scenes for Mohammedan Sporting. And Menajuddin Wadu, he's having very, very keen eye on affairs. And as said before, just 4 days of practice, not even too many substitutes as well. Because Mohammedan Sporting, it's kind of going through a very tough phase, to be honest. Not just in terms of football, but in terms of financial challenges, which they are trying to overcome. Also, quite a few out of the club elements that has left them troubled in recent quarters. But let's see. The history, the legacy that they carry, that's kind of massive. A quick look at their team. Shubhajit under the sticks have been brilliant, and then Joseph, Sajad, Dinesh, and Jasim in the four-man backline. Then Maxian, Yash Chikro, and Isaka in the three-man midline. And up top, it's Laltan Kima, Addison Singh, and Ashley Alwan Kohli. He starts today. And on the bench, they have got Shiba, Shubhadeep, Bamia, Anshu, and Lal Rutlanda. Well, with all of that being said, it's a big game for both these sides. It's a big game for Jose Carlos Javier, hoping that this tournament rather, conclude on a blaze of glory. And that's exactly the kind of expectations that Merajuddin Wadu will also have. Obviously, for Gokulam Kerala, the reason they will want to conclude this on a high, because this is more like a tournament which kind of lays down the marker for the upcoming challenges. Obviously, talks are ongoing about the I League and when it's going to happen. And Gokulam, of course, will be an instrumental part of the tournament once it starts. So, yes, they'll try and take this game as a stern challenge. They'll try and take this game on a note of glory. And at the other end, the Black and White Brigade, obviously, they have had their challenges, but the kind of heart, especially Shubhajit Bhattacharjee under the sticks, he's shown composure, he's shown grit and gumption against Bengaluru FC. I mean, he was absolutely brilliant. Unfortunately, the two goals he conceded, one from a long ranger where he could have done nothing. He did what he could, went for a full-fledged dive, and then in the penalty which he was up against the best of India, Sunil Chetri, there was hardly where he could have even flinched, because that's how good Sunil's predatory instincts are. But then in the next game, well, of course, there were a few challenges coming out. The first goal that he conceded, it was more like he was caught slightly late coming out of that line. Had he timed that run to perfection, you never know, could have been a different tale altogether. But it is what goalkeepers are all about. It's said that they kind of live a very lonely life because, of course, under the stakes. I mean, that's what I refer to. That's because, one mistake, no matter how good of a game you have played, one mistake, and the entire world will come crashing down, the entire universe will come crashing down. So, goalkeepers, they can't afford to make mistakes because that can prove to be very, very costly for the team. And at the other end, I think Gokulam Kerala, they are trying to find an anchor, they are trying to find a mooring out in the center. I think their midfield has been a major problem so far. They've got a good balance of youth and experience, of course. The likes of Akshun Natyagi rising through the ranks of Indian football in recent times. He'll be definitely hogging the headlight for himself. Apart from him, they've got the likes of Albert Taras Crespo and obviously Johnson Singh as well, Rahul Raju. And then players who have been with Gokulam Kerala for a while now. The likes of Shigil, the likes of Shrivan Raj, of course. And Shrivan Raj, make no mistake, he's another big name in Indian football. He's donned on the jersey of pretty formidable clubs in the history of Indian football and will be hoping to leave his mark in today's fixture. And while we talk about this, the two teams make their way to the center, ushered in by the officials, who have also got their task cut out. The two captains leading the way, Shibin Raj for Gokulam Kerala and Sajjad Hussain for Mohammedan Sporting. This will be no mean feat for both the sides. They'll have to step up in the best possible way if they are to walk out with the optimum results. They'll have to put in maximal force in the game if they want those 3 points in their repertoire. For Mohammedan, this is a game where they can showcase the might that they bring. Obviously, Gokulam Kerala, they are a pretty tough unit, but not as tough as the two ISL sides, Punjab FC and Bengaluru FC. But again, that doesn't take away the sting that the Malabarians bring to the centre. And Shrivan Raj, we were talking about him, has been through the ranks of Mohun Bagan, Kerala Blasters, Churchill Brothers, Trinity Deccan, Gokulam Kerala obviously, and Punjab as well. Not that he's gone on to play for all of these sides, but he was a part of that squad, so which kind of tells you that this man has rubbed shoulders with greats of the game. This man has rubbed shoulders with iconic managers, with iconic players, and kind of knows how to pull off critical saves to keep his team afloat. Customary photo ops before the game kicks off out here. And at the other end, it's Mohammedan Sporting. Fairly young, ferocious, and hoping to build an empire out of nothing. Both the bench, both the benches also got a fine set of players. We'll get back to the bench discussions, but for now, the toss. Today's match officials: Crystal John, leading the referee entourage. He is referee himself. And then Kennedy Sapam, the assistant referee, and Dinesh Sawant, another assistant referee. And fourth official, Tejas Vishwarao Nagwenkar. Today's match commissioner, Dinesh Nair, and referee assessor will be Rizwanul Haq. And the frame to savor, the captains and the match officials. And that's Mohammedan Sporting. A few quick words before they take their positions, before they gear up for one final time to sing one final song in the AIFF Super Cup. What will the lyrics be? Will it be of dominance? Will it be of imperative authority? Will it be of youth taking flight over proven war horses? Time holds the answer. What Mohammedan does hold is the conviction that they can. This man, obviously, Crystal John, will have to be alert at all times. Pretty seasoned man, knows a thing or two about what's coming his way. And that's the Malabarians, the Gokulam Kerala. A brigade that has failed to score, a brigade that has failed to register their names on the score sheet, but still a brigade that brings in fireworks like none other, that brings in hope and conviction, that brings in a lethal dose of obliteration for their counterparts if they hit the right chord. Shubhajit knows the task won't be easy, but he knows the importance. Shibin Raj knows no matter what, Mohammedan Sporting might not be experienced on papers, but they have got players, young players, who can create magic. And as we say, we are underway at the GMT Athletic Stadium. And on your frame, from the left to the right, in their signature reds, it's Gokulam Kerala. And on your frame, from the right to the left, in their black and white threads, it's Mohammedan Sporting. And Mohammedan Sporting will try and push Gokulam Kerala early on. In games like these, when on pen and paper, you don't really have the advantage in your favor, you try and sneak a goal. That's more like a stunner, that's more like a tone setter for yourself. You can just get the ball into the back of the net early on. They'll help you build your confidence and momentum. Isaka does well. Sets it up onto the left there, where Ashley awaits. Jasim with the cross. It did beat one of the defenders. Should have done better there, Gokulam Kerala. Shouldn't have gone towards that far side at any cost itself, but it does. It's kind of interesting to see Ashley Alban Kohli getting the start today. Fairly young talent, a fairly young sensation being talked about pretty extensively in recent times. Also Laltan Kima, another name who's been doing the rounds. And for Mohammedan Sporting, the only man who's got senior team experience, their captain Sajjad Hussain, was a part of the senior side and has practiced and trained with them as well. And that is why he's donning the captain's armband, has got his task cut out. He'll have to rally his troops, he'll have to rally his forces, and eventually get the ball rolling, eventually keep things in hunt. Quick short pass towards the right. This time, however, could have been a better pass. Just went slightly haywire on that occasion. Throw in for Gokulam, Kerala. Lunges it forward. Mohammedan. If there's one thing that they'll have to be careful about, I mean, they start the games pretty well. They kind of show that early heart, they kind of show that early defensive solidity, which will make their oppositions rethink their strategies at least once. But it's around that 25th, 30th minute where they start losing their composure. But now it's a good run and will be a free kick for sure. Alfred, he was trying to lunge forward with an attack of his own, trying to set things up. But this time misses out, was brought down in a fairly decent position to have a free kick from. Nicely set up on that occasion, but couldn't really find a way forward. And Alfred himself will be the one to deliver the free kick. Oh, Shubhajit early into action. Gets a very strong palm to it. Or else it could have been trouble for Mohammedan Sporting. Very good positioning nonetheless from Shubhajit. That made the save look very easy. But had he been not exactly where he was stationed, things could have been different. Shubhajit has shown a lot of confidence in terms of his positioning, a lot of confidence in terms of his outing as well. It's just that at times the timing of that outing, the coming forward, the marching forward part, it kind of goes a bit astray, and you wouldn't want that as a custodian. Throw in for Mohammedan Sporting. This can be a good chance. A lovely ball dragged back in. But then the one that it was intended for kind of went for a feint. Not really sure why. The scene finds Sajjad. Sajjad switches it to Dinesh Mite. Back to Sajjad. Few exchanges happening quick enough. Just 4 minutes in. Mohammedan now quickly turning away and trying to bolt forward. Is this an attack in the making? Brought down, should be a free kick. Way too much power on that tackle. It was Soyal Joshi. He needs to be a bit more careful on that occasion. Yeah, no questions asked. Soyal kind of losing that break of his and almost rolled over his defender. Just a few moments ago, Isaka created the ball. I think Addison Singh found himself in a bit of an awkward position. Shibin Raj just arranging that wall of his, two-man wall in front. Towards the far side, Shibin Raj palms it away. Danger still not clear. But now it does. A good solid eye, a good solid watch taken. And then eventually pummeled straight to the other box. Sajjad finds Dinesh. Back to Sajjad again. Alfred with a bit of a press. Still stays with Mohammedan. Jassim launched it forward, hoping for Ashley to lay claim to it. Ashley fails to capitalize. Goes straight back to Sajjad. And Shubhajit, he's come a long way out of his line, so Sajjad decides to give him a bite of the cherry as well. Fine enough, you've come all the way forward. Take a bit. And nicely controlled. Too many passes being played. Mohammedan Sporting, I mean, truth be told, the kind of gap that's there between the two defenders and their midfield hardly looks like that they are going to play it out from the back. They are looking for that one right long ball. But they'll also have to be careful because Gokulam Kerala, they had this knack of suddenly bursting into a full-blown press, which can make life a lot more tougher for Sajad, Shubhajit, and Mitei as well. You wouldn't want that. Another forward ball attempted. This can be a good layoff. It was a good press there from Maxion. He was trying to get hold of the ball, but this time alert defending from Gokulam Kerala gets it out of harm's way. Stays with Mohammedan Sporting. That's some quality. Long ranger would have been a screamer had it been on target there. It was a fine strike from Maxion. Unfortunately misses out his mark by whiskers. But that's the kind of enterprise, that's the kind of foray that Merajuddin Wadu will want. He's someone who knows this team. He's someone who's always invested in the youngsters. Has formerly been a part of Real Kashmir's coaching entourage. Knows exactly how to get youngsters into the act. Knows exactly how to encourage them, how to egg them on. And this Mohammedan Sporting needs a figure like Merajuddin Wadu. But at the other end, Jose Hevia, make no mistake, he's someone who can also spawn magic. A genius at game reading. And that's going to be another free kick for Mohammedan Sporting. Once again, a challenge on Addison Singh there. And it came from Soyal Joshi again. Just a few moments ago, Soyal Joshi, he was involved in another tackle. And this time that first touch proving to be a bit of a letdown for Soyal. And by the time he wanted to recover, Addison came way too close. Now this is a very good position to have a free kick from. And Shribin Raj, his task is getting increasingly difficult with Mohammedan Sporting very methodically coming in front, trying to open up the gates. This can be a good chance. Yash Chikro, he's got a very good free kick at his behest. He's got a very strong right foot. At times can fire in with that left foot of his as well. Not really ambidextrous, but can put it to good use. Ashley goes for the free kick. Oh, it could have been another stunner. Danger stays alive. And somehow, Shribin Raj storms out of his castle to collect it. But Ashley Alvin Kohli, what a free kick that was. Knocking on the doors vehemently, Mohammedan Sporting, leaving Gokulam Kerala with quite a few questions of their own. But that was a clinical hit, as clinical as it gets from a free kick. And this is where the Malabarians need to be very, very careful. They are kind of twisting with fire. Not the most ideal starts that they would have expected. And from the right now, Samuel delivers across. And Shubhajit quickly takes a look and lets it slide out of the ground for a goal kick. Just a few moments ago, there was an opportunity for Maxion to try and head it home. And then across from the right. Not the best of headers. Got underneath the ball, imparted a lot of elevation as the ball popped out of the yard. But that's some good box-to-box, end-to-end stuff that we are witnessing from Gokulam and Mohammedan Sporting. Mohammedan Sporting now, they have come in close to scoring twice, which will be an alarm bell for Gokulam Kerala. They will have to be up and running. And Albert Torres, Crespo just trying to make the most from this infringement, but then kind of running short of space. Another quick throw and taken, good twist and turn. Can he keep the ball in? Not really. Looks like the final touch came of him, and Ashley, just a few moments ago, belted a free kick for the ages. A free kick that will do him a world of good altogether. That will boost his confidence, that will shift his momentum and galvanize him into further electric action. Samuel Kingsley. A lot of promise from him. Isaka wins it back. Does well. That's a fine delivery onto the right. A bit of acceleration from Lalton Kima. Lalton goes for that outside and eventually gets blocked. But the ball's fallen back for Mohammedan Sporting. Drags it back. Maxion delivers it. Goes for the glorious. Unfortunately, fails to connect. Ashley Alvin Kohli. He's doing a bit of sorcery out in the centre. We'll take a look again. Maxion with the cross. And Ashley going for that outrageous bicycle kick. Of course, didn't connect, but then the intent, the idea was right. And if he could have got a bit of boot to it, got a bit of shin to it, you never know, it could have been a different story. No wonder Menajuddin Badu has decided to go in with this youngster. Came off the bench in the last game, but today he started. Just a few moments ago, belted in an absolute thunderbolt of a free kick. And just a few seconds ago went for that glorious acrobatic enterprise. Unfortunately, couldn't really get the ball where he wanted, couldn't really get the shin onto the ball. That would have put Shibin Raj to the test. This young Mohammedan brigade, it's kind of making quite a few ripples already. And Gokulam Kerala needs to be a bit more active, needs to be a bit more cautious with that defense of theirs. The rear guard is giving in too easily. There are chinks in their armour. Yash Chikro sets it forward. Another good ball. Ashley nicks it forward. Isaka from the left. Isaka again. Goes for the far post. A bit too overpowered. And the ball pops out of the yard for another goal kick. But Ashley, Isaka and Maxion, the triptych of youngsters, are doing some incredible task. There was a decent interception there from Gursimrat Singh. But the rebound did fall back as well for Isaka. All he had to do was possibly keep his composure and lay it off. But then I think he wanted to go for glory himself. And kind of injected a bit too much sting on the ball. Here's a chance for Albert. A decent bit of exchange. Good back flick. Alfred pulls the cross. Still stays with Gokulam. And that's a fine clearance. And guess who's the man? It is Ashley Alvin Kohli. He's everywhere today. In the attack, in the defense. You don't just keep him away, do you? And this is what confidence can do to you. You're eager, you're famished to show what you're capable of. Gokulam Kerala. Soyal Joshi passes it to Gursimrat. Eventually, after a lot of pressure, of course, back to Gursimrat. He's got Harpreet to his left, but wanted to knock it forward. Ashley wins it back. And Addison Singh now scanning the perimeter for resources. Does well to lay it off to Isaka. Isaka going for the cheeky outrageous. Wanted to chip it over the goalkeeper, but the angle was so acute. It was kind of tough to try and imbricate the ball into the net from there. But Addison Singh, that was a lovely ball. It wasn't the worst of ideas. It was worth a shot. But he needed a bit more precision. He needed a bit more curl. But the youngsters, the kind of heart that they are showing against the mighty Malabarians, it's impressive to say the least. They are desperate to get a goal here. They are desperate for the third position. Isaka again, down the centre. Isaka finds Ashley. Ashley with a couple of step overs. Oh, does well to break free and win a free kick as well. Oh, you got to spare a thought for Soyal Joshi. Nothing's going right for him, and that is the third time he's fouled, and eventually the referee forced to get a yellow card out. The last two times he's walked free just with a bobble warning, and this time Ashley's theatrics It was way too hot for him to handle. And Ashley left him cloistered in a knot. Free kick for Mohammedan Sporting. Jassim possibly will try and curl it outside, hoping for someone to meet it with substantial force, or can just chip it into the crowd, into the traffic. Goes towards the far side. Maxian collects it. Another cross, but this time Gokulam Kerala does well to repel it. But not the best of clearances. This time, however, gets it out of harm's way. Shubhajit, long way out of his line. A bit of press there from Alfred. And a throw in for Gokulam Kerala. That's a confirmation. Soyal Joshi shown the yellow card. That was his third foul of the evening. Needs to be a bit more careful. And this time it'll be a goal kick for Mohammedan Sporting. Did well with the defense. Didn't want to allow an iota of space. I think Jose Hevia will have to look around what's happening, because right now his defense isn't standing tall enough. Time and time again, it's kind of coming apart at the seams. They've got some solid option in Nidhin Krishna on the bench. They've got Malingamba as well, Malingamba Singh. And then if needed, they can get Emil Benny on as well. Because right now that midfield as well of theirs, it's kind of empty, because the way Ashley and Isaka are combining down the middle, they have turned out inexorable. They want someone who can be that fulcrum, who can be the one who can snatch the balls away out in the center, not allowing Mohammedan Sporting to walk in, to canter in so easily. Because right now the distribution for Mohammedan, it's getting way too easy, and that's what they'll have to stop, or else they won't even know when Mohammedan will come knocking on the doors and in a very fine touch open it as well. Another cross floated in from the right, but it eludes everyone. Kerala does well to lay it off forward, but Sajjad does well as well. Storming forward, heads it back to Ashley. Jassim. Sajjad again. A nudge forward, trying to control that, not easy. But does incredibly well, Addison Singh. Unfortunately, runs out of space, and before he could accelerate, the ball already crossed the byline, resulting in a throw-in for Gokulam Kerala. Soyal Joshi will be the one to take that throw. Still looking around where he delivers it. And Jassim plunging forward, knocking it out. Didn't want Gokulam to have a free run. Rahul plays it all the way to Harpreet. Switches it to the left, back to Harpreet again. Finds Gursamrat. Harpreet knocks it forward. Can this be an opening for Gokulam from the left? It's a good ball forward. Trying to come up with a bit of link-up play there. A bit of an 1-2 combination. But that touch was a tad heavier than expected. And it took the ball away. Mohammedan. Addison, that's classy. A bit of a duel out there. And before Jassim could win the ball back, Jassim does. But with a very hefty push. There you go, Jasim. Trying to win it. And kind of overcommitting on that. It's understandable, of course, that he wants to win the ball at all costs. Yeah, not the best of clearances there from Sajjad. That's one particular area where it can be tricky for him. The aerial zone isn't exactly where he proliferates, but still will have to be careful because after doing all the hard work, after the kind of interest and fascination that has been shown, you can't afford to let it go. A battle of the two number sevens. Lalton Kima dropping deep, trying to stop Alfred, and eventually succeeds. Joseph knocks it forward with a quick turn. Can Mohammedan Sporting eventually go in with a burst of energy, trying to lead off into the stride of Yash Chikro, but Yash fails to reach out for that one. With this Mohammedan Sporting, it looks in shape. It's holding on to its shape, it's holding on to its formation, and at times, if the chances arrive, they are going for that high press as well. And as said before, the trio of Maxian, Ashley Alvin Kohli, and Addison Singh, it's looking kind of dangerous. Through the center, Isaka as well has also been a part of it. Addison on the press again, goes all the way to Shibin Raj. Shibin Raj kind of compelled into quicker action. Once again intercepted by Mohammedan. Trying to lay it off. Still with Mohammedan Sporting. Eyeing for that far right. Again, a bit of a heavy touch. And finally will be collected by Shibin Raj without breaking a sweat. It was a decent move. It was a very good move in the making. But again, Mohammedan couldn't really keep their calm, couldn't really keep that composure of theirs to try and lay claim to the ball. Now that's some quality from Samuel. Delivers the cross. And Shubhajit once again quick to get out of that line and eventually capture the ball. That's an easy take for him at the end of the day. Lalton Kima switching between the left and right. Trying to knock it forward. It kind of got stuck. Soyal playing a couple of quick passes. This might be an opening. Torres trying to send it into the strides of Samuel. But then too much power behind the ball. Chested down quickly. That has been intercepted. A decent back flick. Back to Samuel again. Samuel going for that crossfield ball. Nicely brought down. Decent first touch. Lining up for a shot. Gets a deflection. And goes out for a corner. And that was the first quality move there from Gokulam Kerala in terms of open play. And who else than Alfred Moya. Kind of took a long hard look before lining up that shot and eventually letting it fly. With Mohammedan Sporting defense kind of standing tall, not to let the ball squeeze in. Here's the corner. Alfred himself delivers it. And Shubhajit gets a very strong arm to it. Again, kind of realized it late that the ball had immense power behind that. So possibly had the notion that he wanted to capture that. But then eventually he had to change that decision midway. But does well actually. Does well to get the ball out of harm's way. You don't want to take a risk after playing a decent brand of football. Why would you want to concede? And Alfred once again now from the right. Can curl it outside. Does so. Header towards the far side. And this is going to be a throw-in in favor of Gokulam Kerala, of course. But now Gokulam wants to drop back a bit. to drop back a bit, because given the fact that this is not a corner, they'll take their time. Obviously, the combination between Albert Crespo and Alfred Moya still to build. It's still to witness both of them coming together in a fine brand of football, in a fine understanding. The chemistry has been sketchy at times. That's a lovely cross, but Mohammedan Sporting, their backline stays intact. They've conceded possession. Another long ranger, a chance! And finally the opener. After an eternity of waiting, Albert Torres Crespo rattles the deadlock. What a fine team move that. And Albert, stretching that right foot of his out, gets a boot to the ball and channels it beyond the grasp of an on-move Mohammedan Sporting. It's more like a stunner. Obviously, Mohammedan Sporting dictated the tempo of the game. There was a good long ranger coming in, and then the ball, taking a deflection, fell at the feet. A fine drive, to be honest, from Shigil. And then a cool, calm and a precise finish, making the most of an opportunity that comes out of the blue. Unfortunately, Shubhajit once again caught out of position due to that deflection. And Albert Torres Crespo makes it count. Phenomenal finish as Gokulam, Kerala draws first blood at the GMT Athletic Stadium. And finally, after a wait of 207 minutes, Gokulam, Kerala manages to crack open the doors. It needed some doing, and we said this before. Mohammedan does extremely well in the first 20 minutes. But from there on, the period between 20 and 40 is where the vulnerability opens up. And once again, in a similar period, they have conceded. Yes, that unfortunate, because that deflection, they couldn't have done anything about it. But again, they allowed space. They allowed Gokulam to let the shot come in the first place from Srijal. The price was expensive. Isaka. Ashley. No, not the best of moves forward there from Albion. Maxian, apologies. Back to Maxian. A one back nicely by Yash Chikro. Yash does well. Finds Ashley again. Ashley on the turn. Now surging forward. A good duel with Soyal Joshi. But this time Ashley is the offender. And Soyal goes down. Ashley just trying to have a chat with Soyal. Come on, this is unintentional, nothing personal. I was just going for the ball, so don't take it too hard on yourself. But yes, this game, it has finally opened up. The moment you get that first goal, things start opening up, and that is where a lot of things can happen. Again, a run, look at that run there. Yes, Ashley kind of coming in with that lunge, and a tad dangerous, to be honest. No questions about that. The drinks break, also Merajuddin Nawadu, just possibly seeing a few quick things about what are his expectations right now. That's a free kick that Ashley took. Hammered the woodwork. Unfortunate, however, the ball popped out of the goal frame. Shibin was beaten, and beaten by a proverbial mile. But then the follow through, the ricochet, should have been done better by Maxion in that case. Unfortunately, Maxion couldn't really get the header in position. And then another fine cross came in. Ashley went for the acrobatic. Isaka had another shy, went for the far post. But again, imparted way too much elevation. Then a lovely setup. And Isaka did what he should have. Just couldn't get the precision right. And then a fine drive from Shigil. Took a deflection. Fell at the feet of Albert Torres Crespo. And no mistake made. Stretched himself out. Activating the instincts of a predator. And found his prey. exactly where he wanted, and he gutted it, impaled it with a touch of beauty. Goal kick for Mohammedan Sporting. Shubhajit will lay it off. I think he's also not happy, after pulling off decent games. You have to concede because there's an element of misfortune to it, because your defense kind of wills away, allows shooting space. There's not much that you can do on the occasion. Once again, snatched away. Kerala does well to lay it off further forward. Now Gokulam Kerala, increasing numbers. Here's the goal scorer, Albert Crespo. From the right, good layoff by Samuel, and Soyal Joshi will win a corner for his team. That's some quality link-up play, and Mohammedan Sporting suddenly, from being the dictators, they are running on fumes. And this is exactly what they have to be careful about. A young team, obviously they come in with a lot of expectations, but when things don't go their way, it's kind of normal for youngsters to droop. This is where Merajuddin Wadu will have to possibly tell them that it's alright, things are in. It's just that one goal. Alfred with the corner. Another header towards that second post, but couldn't really hit the bullseye, and suddenly Albert Torres Crespo, he looks like a menace that Mohammedan Sporting will have to deal with if they are to get something out of this game. That's a good forward ball. Addison has gone down, and it's a free kick. Just outside the box, lucky. And that's a yellow card for Gursimrat Singh as well. And this would have been an extraordinary run. And had it been an inch earlier, it could have been the spot kick awarded. A golden opportunity for Mohammedan Sporting to try and restore parity to what has been a fairly decent encounter, oscillating from one end to the other. Now Mohammedan Sporting, they'll have to make the most of this chance. Just from the edge of the box, Addison, he did fall inside the box alright, but the point of contact had happened outside the box, so obviously the free kick going Mohammedan's way. Here's an opening for them. Do we have something of a cinematic move here? Let's one fly. Taken care of by Gursimrat Singh, redeeming himself. It was a decent free kick. Yes, slightly flatter, but Gursimrat had his eyes on the ball, had no intentions of letting it slide. That's a confirmation. Just a few moments ago, was taken into the referee's book. Another set piece, another corner, and it's going to be Saka. Takes it quickly with Ashley. Back to Isaka. Delivers the cross. Going for that glancing header. Misses out. Taking a glancing header isn't easy if you don't get into position. Sajjad will have to hurry. He does. And Gokulam Kerala suddenly coming forth in spades. This might be an opening once again. Rahul Raju. Rahul goes for the second post. Shubhajit out of position. Lucky that the ball was not on target. Initially looked like Rahul was trying to set up a cross, but then figuring out that the goalkeeper can be punished for once again being caught out of position, he took that route. Unfortunately, wasn't accurate enough to get that insurance goal and double up their lead. But this has been a fine run so far from Gokulam Kerala. A sudden burst of life in the last 7 to 8 minutes that has not only seen them secure the opening goal, but now they are a lot more vicious, they are a lot more menacing, and they are threatening. That's another long ball. Addison in pursuit. But Shribin Raj will be as happy as ever to collect that, pick it up quickly. Harpreet. Won back nicely. Stays with Gokulam. Now Gokulam focusing a lot more on possession. When you get that opening goal, there's no harm in keeping possession, because then you kind of compel your opposition, your counterparts, to come out of that comfort zone of theirs. Samuel trying to make the most of this run from the right, but meets a substantial force in Sajad Hussain, who does well to clear away the danger lines. Soyal Joshi will be coming in with the throw-in. Merajuddin Wadu, he himself has been a part of many such games. Headed away to safety. Ashley does well, keeps his composure. Ashley has been one of the brightest streaks so far in the Mohammedan sky, at least in today's game, and was fouled. Samuel Kinshi, another bright star in the making. A young sensation trying to make a living for himself. Jassim decides to switch to Dinesh. Sajad. Could have been a better link-up play. The moment the ball goes aerial, you give it an element of chance. Good run from Rahul. Slightly heavy touch allows Mohammedan to snatch it back. Try and launch a counter. They needed a bit more power on the ball if it had to reach Ashley before the defensive reinforcements came in. Ashley will be the one to take the throw in, is it? No, Ashley walks in. Will be another throw in for Mohammedan Sporting. A bit of discontent being expressed by Gursimrat Singh. They'll have to be careful because he's already on a yellow. They'll not like to take another one for dissent. This time, however, Gokulam Kerala will have the throw in going their way. Soyal Joshi, he's done well. The start for him wasn't promising. 3 fouls committed, that too in danger zones. But since then, since he's copped that yellow card, he's looked a lot more calm. And the executions, the tackles won, the tussles won for him, has been pretty much on point. Throw in for Gokulam Kerala. Another throw in as well. Jassim didn't want to take any risk out there. Didn't want Albert Torres Crespo to run away with another opportunity. Soyal Joshi now with another long throw. Is it? No. Takes it short. Short and crisp. Back to Soyal. Soyal tries to keep on driving all by himself. This is where you need to know when to release the ball. And this one will be a free kick for Mohammedan Sporting. Samuel Kinshi did win the ball, but I reckon there was a bit of hand to it. Thereby the referee laying down the law, allowing Mohammedan Sporting to recycle things back in play. Dinesh launches it forward. Addison from the right. Where is Addison going? Keeps the ball with himself. Has been brought down. Another free kick for Mohammedan Sporting. The referee won't have any bit of it. The slightest inkling of an infringement. And he's blowing the whistle there. A good position to have a free kick from. Again, not the position that they got that free kick from just a few minutes ago. Who's it gonna be? Looks like Joseph will be the one to deliver that. Pretty scattered line in the box. Got a one-man wall where Alfred Planas Moya awaits. Takes it along the carpet, brought down. And now the Malabarians, they have lots of space. And they come booming forward in numbers. Trying to lay it off. Keeps on driving. A chance. Good layoff. A chance for Soyal to try and shoot. The shot comes in. And somehow Shubhajit gets a hand to it. Excellent bit of build-up altogether. Gokulam Kerala almost came darting in with 5 players of their own. And yet the hesitation to pull the trigger, that extra bit of delay that they did, allowed Mohammedan Sporting to slot back in position. And eventually Shubhajit came up with a crucial save to deny Gokulam Kerala a chance at that second. Alfred Moya with the corner. Delivers that at the far side. Albert does well. Another long ranger attempted. Snatched back. Can Mohammedan do the best? They do actually. A good run through the middle itself. Is that the goal they are looking forward to? No, not really. Doesn't get space there. Laltan Kima caught in 2 minds on the fence. Once again trying to get free, trying to break the shackles. Misses out, but this was the best chance to find that equalizer. Again a miss pass. One back by Mohammedan Sporting. Free kick for them again because of a handball from Shigil. Right, too many things are happening and things have suddenly come to a head of steam. A lot of life now. Oh, this wasn't the best. A bit of a slip up there. Jassim does well to recover. Now Ashley, they don't want to take any chance with Ashley. They don't want the trickery ahead of this youngster who's looked famished for an opportunity, and he won't hesitate at all. Another throw-in for Mohammedan Sporting. Mohammedan Sporting at least trying to come in closer, as close as possible, to challenge the might of Gokulam. The seam delivers across at the far side. Laltan Kima does well, has been brought down, but it's not going to be a free kick that he was anticipating. The linesman, the assistant referee, has made it clear that it's only going to be a throw-in for Kerala. No one from Gokulam Kerala. I think when you are a goal down, you have to take it all by yourself. That ball that was allowed by Dinesh Mitay to go all the way, because ideally you drop in a few more seconds, you allow Gokulam Kerala to just get back into that position of theirs, and you will have to try and catch them off guard. You will have to try and show them the urgency. That's another crossfield ball headed away. The Gokulam defense stands tall still and might have opened something up for themselves, but eventually a good follow through, and Yash Chikro doing the honors of a solid defensive stance. 2 minutes of additional time at the end of first half. Things could have been better for Mohammedan Sporting, but they didn't take their chances. And in football, as they say, if you're unable to convert, that's a price that you have to keep on paying. So if Mohammedan Sporting wants to blow back life into this fixture, they'll have to try and score that equalizer. They'll have to try and put numbers forth. They'll have to play that risky brand of football. It won't be easy, but you have to come out of the ordinary box. Ashley Alban Kohli sensing out that there was a backheader that completely spiraled out of control. Shivin Raj was out of his position as well. Unfortunately, Ashley couldn't get a nick to it. Or you never know. Gokulam at times are living very dangerously. Now the Mohammedan Sporting out of position, and Shubhajit, he spilt the ball, and instead of staying alive, he went to argue as well. A comedy of errors from Mohammedan Sporting. Thankfully they stay afloat. Thankfully they don't concede again. And now it's a chance for Mohammedan Sporting to try and dart forward. Try and create something of their own. Not the best of passes. Again, a pretty straightforward pass for Gokulam to intercede and launch something of their own. Is that a last bite of the cherry that they can have? Is that a last roll of the dice in the first half? Still a few seconds to go. But Mohammedan possibly ensuring that there will be no more harm befalling them unless there's a corner. No, Shubhajit ensures that it's well taken care of. Mohammedan now might just fancy their chance. Might! Again, not by the best of margins, but one quick run, one quick dart forward. Looks like they've already ran out of time. Few more seconds. 47 minutes already completed. And we will have half time here. The referee, Crystal John, he's blown a long whistle. He's blown his long whistle. And let us all know that for now, as things stand, Gokulam Kerala will be going into the lemon break with a lead, with a very slender lead. Mohammedan Sporting did show promise, but promise isn't enough to get you back into the game. You will need goals. You will need more intensity, more hunger. But this man, Albert Torres Crespo, was the one who broke the deadlock in the 28th minute. That's a halftime scoreline. Gokulam Kerala 1, Mohammedan 0. We'll take a quick breather and be back with the second half action. Stay tuned, everyone.
A very good evening from the GMC Bambolim Stadium in Goa, where the lights are on, the drums are rolling, and the anticipation builds on for this exciting game. Kerala Blasters, the pride of Malayalis everywhere, march onto the pitch, carrying with them the energy of the entire state, along with the hopes of a community that lives and breathes football. And a fourth official, he gets it, and there we go. We are underway at the GMC Bambolim in Goa. Kerala Blasters versus Sporting Club Delhi. A long ball played inside early by Luna. Mastermind of the game sends the ball inside. A chance, hits the woodwork. Full press from the Blasters as they regain possession. You gotta love how they are having a go, and the foul is drawn right outside the box at the very edge. And this is going to be an interesting position to get a free kick. The card has been issued. Find one of their players. Ashwin blows the whistle. And something cheeky. Noah goes for it. Attacking football is his mantra. And he's got the right set of players to bring that on with. Although now the game has gotten a bit even-sided. The interception comes through. A chance for the Blasters to take the lead. The shot and the goal has come through. It is Obiera who finds the back of the net once again. And it is 2-2 for the new number 9 in a big prize to have conceded. Juan Rodriguez, another Spanish addition to this Blasters side. Looking to play that one long and finding Kuru, who's gotten the ball back though. He crosses it in, fed for Obieta once again! Koldo Obieta! Just can't stop scoring at this moment. A simple finish for him. Rated through the right, which allowed the centre back, that is Juan Rodriguez, to get involved in the attack. And when they attack through the middle, you see Sandeep getting involved through the right. So the constant changes will keep the opposition guessing. And now Adrian Luna looking to find his teammate who, oh my word, has the flag gone up? No, it hasn't. The third goal is coming for the Blasters. And it's Adrian Luna's elegant pass. It's Blasters 3, Sporting Club 0. Well marked by Adrian Luna. And a stylish finish. And guided by a coach who knows this opposition pretty well. Great first half for the Blasters though. They don't have the room to back down, and they have to take the challenge up to the Blasters, who are not shying away. Great ball through the right. Ideal cross coming in. Noah goes for goal. And almost finding the back of the net. Bring that draw to an end. Meanwhile, a chance for Sporting Club Delhi. Well executed counter attack. That ball was played at utmost precision, and the block at the very brink. Rizwan Fernandez. Juan Rodriguez tracking back very well. And Shahif will go into the book for the challenge of his. And the Blasters continue to be patient rather than trying the long balls in every occasion. Noah once again through the left. This time his cross goes through, but no white shirt on the receiving end of it. Grow as a club, and I'm sure they will make their mark in Indian football. Once again, great sequence of passes as a foul is committed right outside the box. 80th minute, here comes the free kick for Sporting Club Delhi. Andre Alba going for the far post. Throw-in goes into the box. Played clear. And Kerala Blasters with a chance to captivate on the counter. It's the added time post the 90. He finds his teammate Thiago. A few tackles and he's fouled right outside the box. Drew this foul, won this free kick. Will he have a go at the goal? Thiago always goes for goal, hits the crossbar. And there we go, full time at Bambolim. Kerala Blasters have done it again. Full time, Kerala Blasters 3, Sporting Club Delhi 0. A very good evening from the GMC Bambolim Stadium in Goa, where the lights are on, the drums are rolling, and the anticipation builds on for this exciting game. Kerala Blasters, the pride of Malayalis everywhere, march onto the pitch, carrying with them the energy of the entire state, along with the hopes of a community that lives and breathes football. And a fourth official, he gets it, and there we go. We are underway at the GMC Bambolim in Goa. Kerala Blasters versus Sporting Club Delhi. A long ball played inside early by Luna. Mastermind of the game sends the ball inside. A chance hits the woodwork. Full press from the Blasters as they regain possession. You gotta love how they are having a go, and the foul is drawn right outside the box at the very edge. And this is going to be an interesting position to get a free kick. The card has been issued. Find one of their players. Ashwin blows the whistle. And something cheeky. Noah goes for it. Attacking football is his mantra. And he's got the right set of players to bring that on with. Although now the game has gotten a bit even-sided. The interception comes through. A chance for the Blasters to take the lead. The shot and the goal has come through. It is Obiera who finds the back of the net once again. And it is 2-2 for the new number 9 in a big prize to have conceded. Juan Rodriguez, another Spanish addition to this Blasters side. Looking to play that one long and finding Kuru, who's gotten the ball back though. He crosses it in, fed for Obieta once again! Koldo Obieta! Just can't stop scoring at this moment. A simple finish for him, created through the right, which allowed the centre back, that is Juan Rodriguez, to get involved in the attack. And when they attack through the middle, you see Sandeep getting involved through the right. So the constant changes will keep the opposition guessing. And now Adrian Luna looking to find his teammate who, oh my word, has the flag gone up? No, it hasn't. The third goal is coming for the Blasters. And it's Adrian Luna's elegant pass. It's Blasters 3, Sporting Club 0. Well marked by Adrian Luna. And a stylish finish. And guided by a coach who knows this opposition pretty well. Great first half for the Blasters though. They don't have the room to back down, and they have to take the challenge up to the Blasters, who are not shying away. Great ball through the right. Ideal cross coming in. Noah goes for goal! And almost finding the back of the net. Bring that draw to an end. Meanwhile, a chance for Sporting Club Delhi. Well executed counter attack. That ball was played at utmost precision, and the block at the very brink. Rizwan Fernandez. Juan Rodriguez tracking back very well. And Shahif will go into the book for the challenge of his. And the Blasters continue to be patient rather than trying the long balls in every occasion. Noah once again through the left. This time his cross goes through. But no white shirt on the...
Hello, everyone. A very good evening once again, and we welcome you back for the second half of the battle. First half went to Gokulam, Kerala, courtesy of an Albert Torres strike. There's still a lot of drama remaining in the second. Both the teams, they did come in close. I think no changes has been made yet. So they will go in with that same intent. They will go in with the same players. And they'll be hoping to leave a fine final half of Super Cup 2025. On your frame from the left to the right, it's going to be Mohammedan Sporting attacking in their black and whites. And on your frame from the right to the left, getting us underway in the second half. And right now, in pursuit of the ball, in their reds, it's Gokulam, Kerala. Mohammedan Sporting starting in with that early exchange. Obviously, they will want a decent start to this half. They'll try and amplify the pressure on Gokulam, Kerala. But at the same time, they'll have to be careful about the chinks in that back line of theirs. The centre-back pair of Gursimrat and Harpreet Singh has kind of stood pretty tall, kind of stood pretty strong. Of course, they had some support from Soyal Joshi. Samuel knocks it forward. And Sajat, not willing to take any risk, gets it out of the danger zone. Now Gokulam still trying to get hold of the ball, but not to be. Now Mohammedan wins it back actually, but again it was very too acute on that left wing, almost clinging onto that left line, the extremes altogether. And eventually the ball got knocked down off play. Throw in for Gokulam. Not the most promising starts to the second half. Both the teams kind of knocking on towards that line of theirs. Finally switching it back to the centre. Johnson pushes it to Harpreet. Gursimrat. Isaka on the trail of it. Samuel does well. Brilliant first touch. Trying to lay off the cross. Back with Gokulam. Samuel still on the ball. Delivers the cross. Shubhajit coming out of his line. Collects the ball well enough. That's what you expect from Shubhajit. He will be hoping to be more consistent. Still stays with Mohammedan Sporting. Knocks it further forward. And the ball wiggles out off the byline. Throw in for the Malabarians rather. Yeah, that's some good physique being shown. Isaka down the middle. Isaka drives for a longer one. But again, way off target. And I think the range that Isaka was trying to test his luck from, it was a bit too overwhelming. Trying to hit bullseye from that particular area will need a lot more. But again, the confidence in Isaka, it's kind of wonderful to watch. Merajuddin Wadu trying to get his players in position. Both the teams continuing with the same unit, so no changes yet. So players on the field will be somewhat similar. A one back nicely by Alfred. And now Alfred pummels it forward. Akshun Natyagi, he's got speed, does well to keep the ball in play. Knocks it forward to Albert. Back to Alfred. Does well, gets past his marker. That's a lovely 1-2. Here comes the shot. Shubhajit gets it out. That's good goalkeeping. Kept his eyes open, watched out for the ball, and gets a solid palm to it. And now from the left, another attack in the making. A couple of step overs. Cross comes in. A chance, but no one to punish it. Another cross, another opening, and excellent defending there. It was Alfred Planas Moya. Should have done better. He's known for finishing from these particular ranges. Point blank it was. He needed power. He went for the placement. And by then Mohammedan Sporting had their defensive reinforcement just in position to save it away. Gokulam Kerala bringing in the offensive. Then Mohammedan Sporting kind of stunned early on. Almost coming back from the cusp of not conceding. It's another good forward ball. Oh, that's poor. That's very poor. And it's a fine run. Lovely setup onto the right. Akshunna Tyagi. Can he make the most of it? Shubhajit once again. Brilliant. Redeeming himself. Came darting out of his line. Threw his body along the way. And took the ball away from Akshunna Tyagi. But I think Alfred Planas Moya and Albert Torres Crespo, they should have done better. It was their ball down the middle. I think a bit of confusion amongst themselves, a lack of chemistry, lack of communication. It eventually forced them to lay it off towards Akshunna. And the ball that eventually came to Akshunna, it also went a bit too far, thereby allowing Shubhajit to cover the distance. And he did well. Back with Shubhajit. I think he'll be confident that panache of his will be swelling up after that crucial save he's made. And now Addison from the right. Addison, couple of step overs, does well to try and line a shot up, but then he had no space at all to eventually go for the long ranger. These are the small things that you'll have to be aware about before you let one of those fly, because it can create a lot of difference. Addison plays it to Isaka. Isaka does well to control the ball, but a sliding tackle there by Shigil eventually wins a corner for Mohammedan Sporting. Can Mohammedan Sporting sting Gokulam Kerala back? It won't be surprising. It's going to be incredible. Isaka calls it into the traffic, and it was lost in traffic. Gokulam Kerala now. They don't get a space. They were hoping to go all guns blazing. Throw in for Mohammedan Sporting. And a bit of intransigence from Alfred Planas Moya. Isaka. Can Isaka break free? No. Runs into a blockade. Isaka does well to eventually get a touch on the ball. And now it's fallen back. Joseph does well to lay it off. And again, rush, cursory, headlong, impulsive action and maneuvers cost Mohammedan Sporting dearly. All they needed was a bit of level-headed attitude, that's all. Just to control the ball. But they were so much in a rush. They got so excited that this is the chance. Fine, we go for the hit. They missed out. And they give up an opportunity. And straight away, Alfred Planas Moya from the left. Up against a solid bit of defense. Does well to lay it off. Albert misses out again. Another cheap concession. And a shot fired in. This is an eventful second half already. 7 minutes in. Both the teams pressing high. And launching one attack after the other. That was a quality move there. But again, that lack of clarity between Albert and Alfred. It's just so eyesore. Players like Alfred and Albert, they need to be a lot more active. They need to inflict further damage. But they themselves are unaware of position. Feels like they belong to the same position. And they are vying for it instead of vying together. Trying to slot as a combination. This is going to be a throw-in for Mohammedan Sporting. A massive sigh of reprieve there. Obviously, just a few moments ago, they were pretty vulnerable. Gokulam Kerala coming out twice in pursuit of that all-important insurance goal. And might be the third time as well that they'll try and probe out the Mohammedan rearguard. Yeah, they need to be careful with the ball since they're sending forward, because Mohammedan Sporting, they are also coming out on high presses. So if they lose out the ball, recovery might be very difficult for them. They'll not want that. Isaka. High boot. And definitely a free kick for Mohammedan Sporting. Dangerous play. Johnson Singh just trying to run away with the ball, just trying to kill a few seconds. These are tactical maneuvers, and there in the frame is Albert Torres Crespo. He's the man who scored the all-important strike, the solitary goal that's keeping the two sides apart now. But again, a lot of game time remaining, 36 minutes, and then whatsoever gets added on. Jassim pushed back to Sajjad. Dinesh Mate, couple of steps forward. Again, a bit on the fence, but Laltan Kima does well to win the ball back. Only for Gokulam Kerala to win it and get a throw in. They'll try and rush, and that's exactly what they do. Flag stayed down. A chance here, Akshun Natyagi from the left, looking for a layoff. Lovely layoff. Wonderful finish. Samuel Kinshi makes no mistake in tapping the ball home. Insurance goal is what Gokulam Kerala was in pursuit of. And they deliver it riding high on team brilliance, on collective brilliance. No chance once again for Shubhajit. This is exactly what Mohammedan Sporting had to be very, very careful about, and kudos to the one who took the throw. He had the idea that Akshun Natyagi was on the run and no one to mark. Isaka was miles back off Akshuna, and I think Sajjad should have done better. He kind of got his feet plonked onto the ground, barely could move around. In a picture perfect layoff for Samuel Kinshi, and Samuel says, right then, thank you very much, I'll do you the honors. And he's done it. Gokulam Kerala now, they can sit back and defend. But I think why do so when your attacking guns are already primed and ready to fire? They didn't find a goal in the first 180 minutes of this competition, and now today they have two. Can they score more? Can they get a statement win to get that confidence, that much needed confidence ahead of their upcoming campaigns? Shubhajit. Spare a thought for him. I think Shubhajit again could have possibly lunged forward trying to intercede the ball. Unfortunately, couldn't really make the most of it. Yeah, Mohammedan does well. A bit of a body shielding. Isaka still stays on the ball. That's incredible. Chikro lays it towards the right. Joseph now coming out on an overlap. Does well. Mohammedan Sporting again slightly heavy on that occasion. And by the time Joseph could come around, it was a bit too late. But nonetheless, a very good move, a very decent move, and a change coming in. Akshun Natyagi, the man who's laid off the second goal, he'll be taken off. And Trijoy Das, he couldn't be a part of the second game due to suspension. He's back in the mix. Just to give you all a quick heads up, we have two semi-finalists already. East Bengal has qualified from Group A. And obviously, it was a very neck-to-neck battle, and eventually they pipped Mohammedan on goal difference. But here's a chance for Kerala once again, and Trijoy Das, he was trying to lay it off. Not the best of deliveries, to be honest. Trijoy Das, apologies, not Das. Should have done better, but it wasn't. But nonetheless, he's won a corner, and Gokulam Kerala now looks relentless and ruthless. Can they get another here? Can they eventually take the game completely away? Towards the far side, fails to keep it in play. The ball's aerial. The tussle for the ball, the tussle for possession goes on. Samuel Kinshi, can he win it back? No, not really. Another crossfield delivery. Alfred trying to penetrate, does well to get inside the box. Possibly will be laying it off, is it? No. Slightly emasculated on that one. And now Mohammedan Sporting might just run forward, but the defensive forces of Gokulam Kerala are extremely strong. They can bring in the numbers whenever needed and they can switch very quickly. Falls back for Gokulam. Another knock forward. He had to drag himself back or else he would have been caught in the offside trap there. All the way back to Shubhajit. Shubhajit needs to be hasty. Can't let the ball going into the feet of Gokulam Kerala. Another throw in. Right now it feels like the Mohammedan defense has disintegrated. There's hardly any resistance that Gokulam Kerala are getting. That's a decent flick. And trying to be a bit too fancy there with his foot movement. Alfred Moya misses out. And Mohammedan now going for a crossfield ball. Again intercepted brilliantly there by Soyal Joshi. What a game he's having. Had a sloppy, shaky start. But then the recovery, the resurgence, it is mind-boggling. Still stays with Mohammedan Sporting. Yash Chikro lurches it forward. Can Mohammedan get a goal here? Can they eventually try and push for something for themselves? Gokulam Kerala now hunting for a statement, not just a victory. That's a long ball and needed some chasing. Obviously, it had immense power. Laltan Kima, he needed the powers of Flash to try and get hold of it. That is how quick the ball was. And I think Gokulam Kerala, they'll take a few seconds now. They are in no rush. Because is there a need for? No. You have 2 goals that you're leading this game by. Hang in there. And that should do your job. The more you rush, the more impulsive you are. You let your opposition a bit of space. You allow them to breathe a lot more freely. And that's so not needed. Alfred lays it off for Albert. Kerala once again, and just before Alfred could get a feet to it, there was a nick to get the ball out for a corner. Time and time again, the danger signs keep on flashing. It's kind of desperation on display. Can desperation save Mohammedan Sporting? Corner, floated in, going for a volley, but way off target. That's flown out. And a change coming in for Mohammedan Sporting. That is Maxion. He had a good first half, but in the second half, he's failed to leave an impression. And it's going to be Lal Rotlanga coming in his position. Mohammedan Sporting now going for a bit more pace altogether. More of a fast-bound approach to try and stun Gokulam Kerala. That's a confirmation. Lal Rotlanga coming in place of Maxion. Because Mohammedan needs to be quick. Once again, cheap concession. This is where they'll have to work. They are giving the ball away so easily. They are conceding possession in no time at all. Albert Torres. Alfred trying to be cheeky. Ball stays with Gokulam Kerala. And eventually a goal kick there for Mohammedan Sporting. It was Johnson Singh claiming that the ball should have been his. The referee says, no, not really. You are the one with the last touch. And now Mohammedan from the left. Just take a look at how predictable they are. And that's exactly what's allowing Gokulam Kerala. I mean, when you don't have anyone who can run down the middle, you're kind of out of options. So your best option is to try and take it on the wing. And that will make Gokulam Kerala's life a lot more easier. And that's exactly what's happening. When you get one-dimensional, you're allowing the defenders to predict, to speculate where is it that you will try and slot in from. So if it's the 2 extreme lines, you are already making it to a cube. And the moment your opposition starts mounting the numbers, you run short of space. and you start conceding the ball way too frequently, just like this. But this can be something good for Mohammedan scoring. From the right, Mohammedan, can they eventually make inroads? No, not really. Way too tough for Lalt and Kima to try and brave the rear guard of Gokulam. And now Gokulam, they have some space from the left, but again, that ball had a bit more power injected into it. Goes out of play, throw in, quickly taken, laid off nicely. Here comes Mohammedan Sporting. Can they line one of those long ranges up? Jassim has come a long way. Delivers a fine cross. And that's a crucial defensive intervention. Wow. That was a side volley out of nothing. It's like he's conjured it out of thin air like a magician. Lalrutlanga finds Joseph. Ashley. Is it? No. It's Laltan Kima rather. Pushes it to Jassim. And now it's Ashley. Ashley takes that outside route. Brought down. Should be a free kick. After a long time, Ashley trying to blow a bit of life into the game here. In fact, it was a throw-in. Mohammedan Sporting, that's quality. That's a fine run. Again, Isaka needed to be on his toes there. Took a split second longer. And the ball pops out of the yard. Throw-in for Mohammedan Sporting. Ashley. And Ashley loses possession. And Gokulam Kerala might just sense out that they have something well. Albert Torres Crespo, he took way longer than expected. He should have been the one to release it. And now Mohammedan Sporting. Joseph delivers the cross from the right again, way too haywire. Nowhere close to the goal, nowhere close to a particular juncture that could have even planted a seed of the slightest of doubts in Gokulam's minds. And Shibin Raj, he's a man who's played in quite a few clubs that will need you to be at your peak. Yash Chikro has shown those intermittent bursts of brilliance, but a very young contender and has a lot of promise for the future. Shibin sends it downtown. And it stays with Yash. Nicely cleared away. And now a bit of ping pong in action from one end to the other. One back. It does well. Mohammedan Sporting from the right. Looking for momentum. Can they get rid of that defensive clutch? No. Once again, anticipated very well by Harpreet Singh. And came charging in with a sliding tackle. Joseph comes in with the cross. The ball still remains. Isaka still not able to find the right outlet for the delivery. Again, brilliant from Harpreet there. Charging in. And all the way back to Gursam, apologies to Shubhajit. And now Shubhajit sends it lurching forward. Ashley. And eventually, it'll be a throw-in for Gokulam Kerala. 68 minutes on the ticker. The last few minutes, the last 5 minutes, I think, it's been a bit of impressive play altogether. From Mohammedan Sporting, they have come out on all guns there. They have come out on all cylinders. Another change lined up for Mohammedan Sporting. Ashley Albin Kohli. He's had a great game today. But now he'll have to rest. Bamia Samad will be taking his position. Another youngster, but someone who's no mark to greatness, who's no mark to extraordinary watersheds. So he can come up with something clutch, something very special. Does well to control. Another crossfield delivery. Alfred does well to keep it in play. That's a good bit of turn, but brought down. Should be a free kick without a second thought. A bit of frustration definitely in Joseph. He knew that he had no other way rather than stopping Albert Torres Crespo in that way there. That particular fashion. I knew that Albert has had the better of him, has left him foxed. A free kick for Gokulam Kerala. Another opening, another set piece. They're getting players from that rear guard of theirs. They're just mounting the numbers. They know they have a 2-0 cushion. They want a third here. Fine ball, a chance for Gokulam, and Mohammedan Sporting just intervenes in the nick of time. And eventually will win a throw-in as well. And this is really what Gokulam Kerala can produce on their given heyday. And today has been one such day, despite the fact that Mohammedan Sporting couldn't really max out their potential. And the yellow card has been shown. We'll quickly confirm who's the one who's actually copped the booking. It's Shijil who's actually being shown the yellow card. Make no mistake, he was the one who was responsible for taking the shot that took a deflection and eventually fell into the stride of Taras. And Taras made no mistake in just guiding it, steering it home. That's a confirmation, Shigil, given the yellow card. No questions asked. Many more minutes remaining. Another good fine push all the way back to Shubhajit. Shubhajit has done well. Shubhajit still trying to find a bit of rhythm for himself. Asaka does well on the turn, trying to lay it off onto that far left. A good duel happening. Can he create chances here? Is there a bit of shooting space for Lalrut Langa? He lets it on the left, cross, straight to Shibin Raj. He does well to take it onto his chest, collect it, and roll it forward. And now Gokulam. 2v3, of course, not the easiest. Again, slightly heavy. If he could have kept that under control, you never know. Maybe an outside turn, and he could have got a bit of shooting space ahead of himself. And could have just let the remaining work left for destiny. That's a fine forward push. A chance trying to sneak it. But once again, the defensive centre-back pair of Gursimrat and Harpreet, that has been impenetrable. And it's the trio of Gursimrat, Harpreet and Shibin Raj that has knitted together an impregnable Fort Knox. Quality defending. And I think we can also see a few players from Gokulam Kerala lined up. Obviously, they've got the likes of Emil Benny, who might come on. And they've also got Juan Carlos Rico Azarin. Jesse is what they call him. Whether Jesse will come on or not, that's something for a later discussion. For now, few quick rings for the players to ensure that they are all right. They are in the pink of their health. "73 minutes, 17 more minutes to go," which is a fairly long run. Right, and goes all the way back to the goalkeeper, Shibin Raj. Makes no mistake, just collects it as calmly as possible. And eventually pummels it forward. Right, this can be another opening for Gokulam. Again, taking a bit longer than expected for Alfred. And now Mohammedan Sporting in pursuit of a counter-attack. Do they have the sting to break down the Kerala defense? Well, they were not hesitant. They were not shy from taking one of those long ranges. And a twin changer. Rashad is gonna come in place. To quickly confirm, and also Jesse, we were talking about him. He's gonna be in. This has been a great game for Sam Wilkinshi. And Sam Wilkinshi will be out of action. And it's going to be the big man from Spain, Juan Carlos Rico Azarin. And Juan Carlos get a goal for himself and his team. And just to get them the all-important third goal that they have been looking forward to. The drinks break here for both the sides. This has been a very tiring outing. It hasn't been easy. That was the third change made by Gokulam Kerala. We'll take a look at those goals there. The first one, obviously, slightly lucky, but then they needed to finish it. And that's what was done by Albert Torras Crespo. One shy at the goal, and boom. Yes, right to point it out, it was my brain, that was his intellect. That was an intelligent finish. And then a fine run from the left from Akshan Natyagi. Picture perfect layoff. And Sam Wilkinshi. Cool, calm, and a gentle poke as the ball was guided home from point blank range, propelling Gokulam Kerala to a 2-0 lead. Smiles blooming across their lips. Obviously, Sajjad Hussain could have done better than that. Right, another throw, and also Rashad coming in as well. I think Rashad has come in to try and make the most in the midfield there. Trying to bolster it, trying to give it a bit of complexion that looks scary enough for Gokulam Kerala. But now Mohammedan Sporting, they've got Isaka. Isaka dragging it back for Lalro Tlanga. And Gokulam Kerala does well to win the ball back. And now they come forward, knocking on the doors in numbers. That's a good square ball through the center. This is good combination play as well. They'll need a bit of speed. Looks like they are kind of exhausted. Alfred Moya obviously could have done better, could have run forward, and that's Rashad for you with that second touch of his. Just moving things around as much as possible. Does well there, Harpreet. A gentle push forward from Rahul. Gokulam Kerala once again coming forth in numbers. Good ball forward, a chance. Trying to lay it off for Alfred Moya. He says, I am here. Take a look at me. And Alfred, he was serenaded by JC as well. That was a lovely run, to be honest, from Trijoy Diaz. He did what he had to. Unfortunately, the circumstances looked slightly dodgy. That's a confirmation. Rico Azarin coming in place of Samuel. Samuel Kinshi had the goal, had a good game as well. And Rashad coming in place of Shigil. Shigil was also on a yellow card, so the coach didn't want to take any risk at all. Again, not the best of first touches there for Trijoy. Pushes it back. And Shubhajit does the rest, sends it downtown. But will only be as far as a Gokulam Kerala defender who will shield it away for another throw-in. 12 minutes of regulation time to go. Another great game of football. Mohammedan Sporting started with a lot of heart. They were trying to push Gokulam Kerala out. The initial 25 minutes looked solid. And then the moment they conceded that opening goal, from there on, they did try and fight back. It's not that they resigned They did try everything possible, but unfortunately it wasn't enough. And here's a golden opportunity for Gokulam Kerala to finish the campaign with a victory and conclude as the third team, as the team ranked third rather in Group C. Yes, they have been knocked out, but that doesn't mean that they won't fight for this game. They won't fight for the bragging rights. Every match is important. Every single minute played is important because it's a chance for the footballers. That could have been quality. I think what Alfred did off the ball was brilliant, but very good defending as well. Good follow through, kept his eyes on the ball, knew that if Alfred went free, then it'll be kind of impossible to stop him. So they didn't want to take any chance. Quality there. Will the cross come in? No, it's a very soft touch. Shot! Takes a deflection along the way and a corner. Alfred Pranas Moya was not hesitant in going forward. Good combination play with Rashad and Johnson. And another set piece there for Malbarians. A chance again for them to try and find that third goal. They'll have to push harder, however. But Alfred Moya, he'll be very happy with the way he's operated today. He's been the nucleus of the side. Towards the far side. And a thumping header. Wow! A goal line save. Danger stays alive. And somehow Shubhajit palms it away to safety. But what an incredible move there. Gokulam Kerala almost finding that third. And a brilliant goal line save from Sajjad Hussain comes to the deliverance of Mohammedan Sporting. Or else could have been the third goal as well. Another knock forward, headed away to safety. Falls back for Gokulam. Stays with Gokulam. And now Alfred looking for space. In fact, it was JC. JC has been brought down. Will be a free kick quickly taken. Alfred on the left. Finds Albert, who in turn cycles it all the way to the centre. Rahul Raju trying to knock it forward. Mohammedan claims it, but looks like there was a hefty push on Pujoy Diaz. The referee blowing the whistle, awarding a free kick for Gokulam Kerala. Gokulam Kerala in the second half has been downright destructive. There has been no hesitation at all. And this man, Jose Hevia. But that's a fine free kick. But Shubhajit says, don't worry, I'm here. The last guard of the Citadel. Again, beaten twice. Will try and keep things in place. Will do his best, of course. Gokulam does well to win the ball. And now launch forward with an attack. That's a brilliant layoff. A bit of a jersey tug. Stays alive. A shot comes in. And Shubhajit somehow gets a hand to it. That's some thrilling action there from Gokulam Kerala. And Mohammedan Sporting responding in kind. Matching ounce for ounce with that rock-solid defense of theirs. Shubhajit as well joining the act. Coming in with a handful of crucial saves. Their outing, the first one was a mistake. The second one, however, it was because of his outing that no harm came to Mohammedan. But danger's not over. Another ball knocked forward by Rahul Raju. Unfortunately, way too powerful. And that slips out of play. Rahul Raju, he's looked good, he's looked great. Now here comes an Mohammedan Sporting, hoping to at least reduce the deficit. They have tried and they have tried. They have been valiant. They have been redoubtable in their enterprises, in that pursuit of their goal. Unfortunately, it isn't enough. In football, you got to execute. It's as simple as that. Nobody will be seeking the aesthetic pleasure of a goal, how beautiful it is. But all that matters is that you're crossing the goal line. And for youngsters like these, if they can get a goal, it'll be a massive boost for them. It'll be a statement that against the powerhouse of Gokulam Kerala, they have managed to sneak one in, and that too without any foreign power. The youngsters have actually impressed today. Just that finishing touch, that decisive blow. has been somewhat missing, and that's absolutely fine. Lalutlanga. Joseph. Joseph, can he come in with the cross? Does deliver a cross. A chance was there, headed away to safety, however. And now Mohammedan kind of trying desperately to latch on to possession. But it's getting tougher and trickier. Gokulam Kerala now pressing on all guns. They have all hands on deck. The inclusion of JC has added a lot more sting to that attacking unit of theirs. And they won't sit back. And that's again a bit of a compulsive move made by Harpreet Singh. But what a game Harpreet has had. Absolutely sensational. It's a corner. Isaka. Calls it in. But a fine header there from Gokulam Kerala. They didn't want to take any risk there. Falls back for Gokulam. Might be on for another break there. Here they come from the left. A gentle push forward. Alfred Pranas Moya accelerating. Does well to line a shot up. Goes for the second post. And another opportunity. No mistake. That's goal number 3. And the statement that they were looking for completed. And it is the big man from Spain. JC finding the back of the net. Juan Carlos Rico Azurin waiting like a predator as the ricochet fell at his feet. All he had to do was use that right foot of his and smash it into the back of the net. But what a terrific run there from Alfred Planas Moya. Take a look at how easily he penetrates into the box. And what a fine layoff. No hesitation from Juan Carlos Rico Azurin. He needed that. And it came in style. This is how good Gokulam Kerala can be. All they need is a bit of space, and Mohammedan Sporting has allowed it. That's a confirmation. Rico Azurin with the strike. What a brilliant game he's had. Ever since he's come on, he's lurked around, he's looked for opportunities, and that inclusion, that change made by Jose Hevia has now made Gokulam a lot more ferocious, a lot more fierce. From here on for Mohammedan Sporting, now it's about getting out of the agony that they are in, about getting out of that misery that they are in. Looks like there's a bit of an injury concern there. And that will be addressed before a further move is made. But we've had a very good game. Mohammedan as well has not really failed to impress. If there's a chance that has come their way, they have actually lunged forward. They have pressed as hard as possible. But once again, at times, for youngsters, it's not always easy to crack open a seasoned defense like that of Gokulam Kerala. They had their challenges, and eventually the challenges looked too tough for them to brave. But these young hearts, these 11 players, the sheer grit that they had shown, that's crazy. And the evenings in Goa, they are pleasant. As you can see, under the moonlit skies, and that's how the third goal happened. There was ample space, wonderfully done, a nice cheeky back flick to lay it into the cantering stride of Alfred Moya. And Alfred, easy, just lining one up. I think Shubhajit could have done better. Also, better defensive reinforcement should have been shown by Dinesh Miti. Looked like he's given in too easily. Alfred shouldn't have got the shooting space that he was looking forward to. Falls back for Shubhajit. Shubhajit sending it downtown, but not too much avail. From here on, it's all about just a formality for Mohammedan Sporting. And Ajuddin Wadu will be disappointed, of course, but I think you also have to understand a young team with just 4 days of practice in their bank arrives to a super voltage tournament, to a high octane tournament like Super Cup, and then they have to play 3 matches in a span of 7 days. It's not easy. But yet they decided to fight. They did not resign so easily. Here's another chance for JC. Can he find the back of the net? No, not really. They'll have to wait. Gokulam Kerala trying to knit together another attack. 5 minutes of additional time. Another fine move forward. Can be a chance here. A bit of confusion. Shubhajit out of his line. Does well to win the ball back. You cannot delay a split second there, and 2 more changes. Emil Benny, he's gonna come on in place of Alfred Pranas Moya. What a game Alfred has had. Absolutely brilliant. And young Emil gets to show a bit of his showmanship as well. Absolutely crazy. And another change as well. Moses Lalbinzuala making his way to the center. 5 minutes is what they have. 5 minutes of additional time. So 300 seconds. Let's see if Mohammedan Sporting can just get that consolation strike. Something that will vouch for the hard work that they have put in. They have kept on knocking on the doors. They've tried their best with whatsoever resources were available, but it has been intervened. And now Gokulam looking for space to try and launch a counter. Again, not the best of clearances there. A bit of confusion and chaos in the center. Mohammedan actually wins it back, lays it off towards the left. Isaka tries to take a shot. Gets blocked along the way. Yeah, that back header won't count. All the way to Shibin. And Shibin says, thank you very much. No challenges. And Emil Benny came in place of Alfred Pranas Moya, as said before. A lot has been talked about this youngster. Another change. Torras also went out. Albert Torras Crespo. Moses Lalrenzuala. And that's a fine long ranger. Oh, had it been on target, it could have been the goal of the tournament. Or at least the goal of the group. We've seen some crazy goals if you remember. A strike from Miguel Ferreira Damasceno. A very acute angle, and he went on to score from that in the very first game between East Bengal and Tempo. And it simply keeps on coming. Mohammedan still on the ball. Yash Chikro. Gokulam desperate to win it back. But Mohammedan says, not so easy. We might be young, but we have hearts. And we will keep on fighting till the very end. We'll try and do as much as possible. Yes, there's a lot of learning to do. Yes, there are a lot of positives to look forward to. But the remaining 2 minutes, we'll fight. We'll fight with everything we have. We'll bear out the cylinder of ours. Somehow a bit of a challenge, kind of stuttering, stumbling, wobbling along the way. Mohammedan, they do well to keep the ball in play. Addison sends in the cross. Oh, a bit of a deflection. That was a quick bit of move there. Bamia Samad just circling around. And the ball came off him. For a moment, it felt like that ball was taking a very awkward curve. But luckily for Shibin Raj, that has just popped out of play, resulting in a goal kick. 93 minutes, almost about to be 94. 60 more seconds and we are done for the day. And Gokulam Kerala will be leaving Goa with a smile on their face. Another knock forward. And that will go out for a throw-in for Gokulam. Do they want to take it quickly? No, they want to take their time. They've had their fill of goals. Now it's just about holding on. It's just about playing it out. They don't want to concede. They want a clean sheet. Prejoy. Prejoy going for a decent drive. Good square ball to lay it off. A bit of space on the left. But Emil Benny won't have a bite of the ball. Oh, one back by Gokulam. Is there something brewing? JC twisting, turning, shot comes in and flies inches wide. What a move that! Was that Emil Benny with the shot? We'll have to take a look. But that definitely had the signs of a screamer. Unfortunate that it was inches above. Gokulam Kerala today, they showed how dangerous, how menacing they can be. But as luck would have it, Mohammedan Sporting, despite all the hard work, they'll have to return empty-handed. But yes, they'll return with a lot of lessons and with a lot of positives. They'll have to build around them. If they can get a bit more game time, if they can get a few more quality players, a few more experienced players, this can be a completely transformed side. They have shown heart, but that should be it. Mohammedan Sporting will return from Goa on a bit of a dampener. But Gokulam Kerala, they will be absolutely tickled. Yes, they have been eliminated, unfortunately. But then they conclude this campaign on a resounding note. 3-0 is how they win this fixture. Could have been more as well. But they just failed to hit their targets. And Shubhajit, hard luck for him. He's hung in there with every possible sinew of his being, with every atom in his body. He fought till the very end. But then once again, it's also about experience. You come in with a young side. You have to face the might and the wrath of full-blown teams who can make a lot of difference. And with this, we come to the end of a decent fixture. And obviously, the man, Jose Hevia, he'll be delighted. He knows that there were signs of his team ruling the roost. Unfortunately, they were up against two phenomenal teams in the first two games, Punjab FC and Bengaluru FC. And for the ones watching, just to give you all a quick heads up, I think an hour from now, Bengaluru and Punjab lock horns in a winner-takes-all battle at Fatorda. And that game will be coming to you live on Jio Hotstar, so do keep an eye out. That's the final scoreline. Gokulam Kerala 3, Mohammedan Sporting 0. Taras with the opener, Samuel with the second goal, and Rico Azarain completing the route of Mohammedan Sporting. Thank you everyone for joining in. Do catch the highlights on your way out. We'll be back with another clash tomorrow. Till then, do not forget to tune in into Jio Hotstar for the winner-takes-all banger between Bengaluru FC and Punjab FC. Thank you everyone.